All right, so I bought the full T3 AE86 interior. Let's see, I think it cost me around 500 something bucks. I'll put the exact amounts down below. I'll put the time so you can skip to see each one. Um, so just a little overview. I think they look really good. I think it makes the car a little more modern looking, a little bit sleeker. If you don't have full interior, this is kind of an option for you. If it's really hard to find interior bits or if you have mismatching ones. I bought them, one, because I wanted to update the car a little bit. Two, my panels were all mismatched and kind of breaking apart. And I thought, you know what, I'll keep them in the garage and take them out for special occasions. But for daily driving, I'll put in the T3 panels. I think, yeah, they're really great. I think they're really good options. I think T3 has really done some all right work. There's some things they could improve upon, and I'll go into detail for each piece so you can see that. Yeah, I think they're really good. The only problem I have with them is that in the sun, they become extremely hot. Like, that is freaking hot. That is like the biggest problem overall with them, is that they get so hot because they're metal and black, and they only come in black. So first we're going to start off with the door panels, then we'll go to the rear seats, and then to the trunk area. So here's the door panel. Now when you get the door panel, it comes with all the little fittings that you have to screw in. The problem is you have to drill into the door. So if you want to keep your door undrilled, you may not like this option, but it's pretty much the only one you get. Then it's going to show a little bit more than the original door panels. Yeah, so it doesn't go all around the whole thing, so you're gonna have to repaint the inside a little bit more. Now, see how there's that gap? Originally, oh, if it'll focus, there's actually a piece of plastic that goes in there. I'll have a picture of it. And T3 supplies a little piece that kind of works around it when you have that. But if you don't have the interior little handle, it's a big hole like that. And now onto the door handle itself. So, when you buy the door panels, they don't give you a handle. You either have to pay 20 bucks for this, or you pay 70 bucks for handles that are like cut out of a solid piece of aluminum or something like that. You should not have to pay 20 bucks for something like this. I made this for like $2. $1 for the nylon and $1 for the washers. T3, you should just, when you buy a door card or a door panel, you expect a door handle to be thrown in, and they shouldn't be 20 bucks. T3, you should just raise the price 5 bucks and give these handles as basic ones, or just throw them in. It probably doesn't cost you anything, T3. I feel like you're kind of getting gypped by paying 20 bucks when you can make it yourself, Like, T3, come on. I mean, it's not that big a deal. So, the rear seat panels, they're, I think, the worst panels out of all four. And I'm going to explain in great detail why. So the first problem is when you go to T3's website. When you look up the panels, it shows both the coupe and the hatch with the same picture. Now the coupe and the hatch are different, so they have different panels. So T3, I think you should just fix that. That's number one. Not even that big of a deal, but I'm going to come at you, T3. So you should really put the hatch panel picture for the hatch and, fix that. Second, it says, and these are screen caps I'm showing you, fits direct bolt-in factory mounting points, which is wrong. But it's semi-wrong, and I'll get into that. When you look on their page, the picture they show shows no B-pillar, which is fine because most people make it race car, but if you have the B-pillar and you're putting in the rear panels, you're going to have a bit of a problem, as you can see. So it won't fit 100% right because of the B-pillar. Now, as I said earlier, it said it's not supposed to interfere with anything, but it does right here, and it makes it, like, look at this huge gap. It angles up higher. You can't go flush against this here. It just kind of sucks. Here's what the panel looks like when you've cut it. So when you cut it, it fits like perfectly. I mean, I know this is exposed here and there's that hole, but all in all, it fits pretty well, right? So this covers the 86 logo, and the T3 logo's down there. So maybe T3 you should move it to like maybe right here or something, or back there, you know, somewhere more visible. Now this one, you can't screw it in there, but you can screw it in there, and one of them is honestly enough. Now, there's the piece back here, and there's that mounting point there. Now, on their website, they said that they use factory mounting points, and they give you these little, I don't know what you would call them. They're the panel little pieces, you know, the trim, the like little trim poppers, you know. And on their website, they show two of them in there. Now, here's the major problem with that. So I took a pen and I put it in there and in there and in there and down there, to see how they line up with mine. So we're going to cut to that right there. Okay, so here's one point. There's the second point. There's the third point. And the fourth point is right there. You can't see it very well. But does that look close to the OEM spots at all? Like T3. What I think happened here is they were using possibly an SR5 car, which may have the spots in different locations. I don't know, I can't verify. But I have a GTS and they're not anywhere near those. So you do need a screw in. So, like I just showed you, they don't line up. So T3, you need to work on that for your website, figuring out what you're going to do. Maybe make two models, one GTS, one SR5, or just put multiple holes. I don't know what you want to do. But if we go over here, so this is an SR5 seat. If you have a GTS car, you're going to have a problem. You're going to need SR5 seats. So a GTS seat, I'll have a picture of what that looks like there. SR5 seats, however, and their panels are flat, and there's a little covering here on the wheel well. So you'll need to pick that up as well. Otherwise, you're going to have this nasty look here with all these wire exposed. And here's the wiring harness. It kind of goes down underneath that. And if we look back here, it comes out through here. So, you know, you're going to have a little bit of an issue with your wiring harness there. But other than that, I think the panels look really good. And as you can see, it flows really nicely through the whole thing. Also, see these? Don't worry about my Saturday Night Fever album. You see these go right up here, and I think they're to support the door panel. You just unscrew them and you take them off. There's no big deal. But yeah, so these panels are probably the worst ones because you need to modify it there, and if you have a GTS, they don't fit correctly. Now, onto the trunk. Yeah, so the two side panels. Now, this is what the OEM ones look like. They cover the whole wheel well, strut tower, and they have these little pockets so you can reach into the side where you can, you know, put your spare jack, the OEM one that came with it. And if you notice on the sides, they have these little cutouts. These are so you can reach the tail lights in case you have a bulb that goes out. Same with the trunk. As you can see, there are those two little flaps. You pull those down and then you can reach your tail lights. So, you know, that's a pretty handy thing to have. However, the T3 ones don't have that. As you can see though, they look really, really nice. They don't cover the wheel well, so you'll have to, you know, paint that or cover that in some way. But they bolt in perfectly fine. You don't have to cut anything. They just go right on. They're really, really nice. I think the trunk area is one of the best parts of the T3 whole package. As you can see, there's no cutouts at all for the lights. So if a bulb goes out, you have to take that whole sheet off, which isn't too big of a deal, but just letting you know, maybe, you know, if you want, you can cut it out and make a little flap door with a hinge and everything. Yeah, four bolts up there, and it has enough room for your latch, so it doesn't interfere with anything. It's really nice. You may want to paint that side though. But yeah, I think they're beautiful. They don't really rattle. They're pretty easy to put into place. You put the side ones in first, then you put the rear hatch one, and it looks great. It's a really nice solid piece. As you can see under here, there's a little bit of a gap, and that is so you can put down a sheet of cardboard and a carpet, and it won't really interfere too much. It slides under really well. So T3 also sells a spare tire cover. Now it looks really good, but you don't really need it. I mean, if you put a carpet, then you're not going to see it anyways, and you're probably going to use some kind of cardboard to cover it up, so it's fine. But all in all, I think it looks really good. Ignore the trash on the floor. I think the panels fit really nice. It's a really good option if you don't have any interior. So yeah, save up the 560 bucks and buy it. But if you notice, there's a lot of scuffs on it and it just gets scuffed easily. All you have to do is take a damp towel and kind of like wipe it and it's clean.